welcome back to Gears and Glory, and welcome to our Spa review recap, whatever you want to call this. What a wild episode. I feel like this is gonna be dramatic, if that's the word for it.
Yeah, so
We've got
crazy.
another little co-host who can't help herself but be involved. So welcome to Star of the Future. This is Lucia.
So cute.
Yeah, she's got a lot to say about Spa as well.
Yep.
These kids are George Russell fans, so they've got a lot to say about Spa.
I'm sure.
An emotional week for them.
Oh yeah, it's an emotional week for everyone, really, isn't it?
I feel like it's Thursday. I feel like I haven't been able to process anything that's happened since Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't get over it.
Yeah. I don't have words still. It's kind of like I feel like it's a trauma response. Like I've just like pretended it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I've just like shut down.
There was a race last weekend. What?
Spa's this weekend, right?
Yeah, we still get more races. It's
We'll
not a
try
free
again.
break.
Yeah.
No. We need to see the podium celebrations with the actual drivers.
Yeah, we got there.
Yeah.
As a Charles fan. Okay, let's just talk about it. Okay.
I guess we should start with our predictions and where we went right and wrong, because this is
What
where
did I even say?
Because with our original podium being George, Hamilton, Oscar, do we count that, or do we go to the updated podium? Because if we're going by the updated podium, I got one right.
Me too.
Yeah.
With Charles.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got Oscar. I got Oscar right. Oscar was
I
P2,
can't
wasn't
remember
he? Yeah.
who it was.
I know, I literally had to write down them quickly. I had to write mine down quickly before this because I completely forgot.
I need to remember to do that. Caught slacking.
Yeah.
We've been in it now.
I know. I had said Alonso for my unrealistic prediction, which didn't turn out, but the fact that he also did a one stop and was in the points
and didn't get
a great race.
And didn't get disqualified.
That's the key here. You haven't gotten disqualified, you're really the winner in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm newer to Formula One, and I understand the car loses weight during the race. You burn fuel, you burn rubber.
Yeah.
You burn the plank underneath the car.
Yeah.
But short of I don't know, cutting a driver's arm off and chucking it out the window, I'm not sure how else you could lose weight. And then all these articles started coming out about the weight disqualification of it was fuel. They had weighed the car initially incorrectly. And then it came out that it was the tires, and the tires had literally lost so much rubber. And maybe I need to do an anatomy of a Pirelli tire class or something. But you're telling me that there's that much rubber that's coming off? I don't know. It just seems so wild. And yet exactly what happened,
to be honest with you, I'm still fighting with my mum. My mum was like, I reckon it was the tires. He went on the one stop, so that's why he lost weight. And I was like, no, 1.5 kilos from rubber, no way.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does that add up? It has to be a combination of the fuel and rubber. No way.
Yeah. It's got to be a combination of the both, but also George could have lost weight himself during the race as well.
Sweating.
He could have been sweating bullets out there.
Yeah.
So it could have been a combination of just all things.
Yeah. Moral of the story, Mercedes messed up.
Moral of the story, have an extra snack so you don't get disqualified.
Yeah, literally. You know what?
Maybe he drank too much water and his water bag was empty. He lost weight.
But then wouldn't it just be inside his stomach bladder?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, because that's my question. When you said maybe he was sweating and that's how he lost weight. But then if you sweat, doesn't that get then stuck in their fireproofs and their kit and the suit and everything?
Yeah.
I'm this is a closed ecosystem.
They weigh the driver and their gear together, but then they also weigh them separately. That's weird. How they lost weight. I don't know. But that's similar to what happened in F3 a couple of weeks ago. I think it was Alex Dunn or someone. I cannot remember. But one of the drivers got disqualified after winning the race. Actually, maybe it was Van Hoopen. I don't know. This was weeks ago now. My brain's shut off from that. But he got disqualified from winning the race because he was 6 kilos underweight. And the test actually came out. And it was like his water tank or something had cracked during the race and he'd lost all the water. So that weight was like where the weight went. So it wasn't even it wasn't intentional, but he still got disqualified. Like, it's insane.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It was really crazy because, like, I think it was 3 or 4 days before Spa, I posted like a beginner's video explaining why the drivers get weighed and like the weights of the car and things like that. And now it's blowing up because everyone is like searching why like the cars get weighed. And I have so many comments being like, did you know about George? Like, did you manifest this? And I was like,
oh no.
I was like, what happened here? Like, can I see the future?
No. It was really funny. I think today or something, McLaren posted a video of Oscar like explaining all of the weight and stuff. And I was like, that's such an interesting and pointed yet completely like separate video to make right now. Like, it's just so funny.
But it's funny because they film all that stuff in bulk, like months and months in advance, and then they just post them throughout the year when they need content. So it's so funny that they were like, we have this in the bank. This is the right time to post.
Oscar was saying it still sounded like he had recorded it after Spa. Like, it was so like, George. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Oh, I love him.
Whoever sat on that piece of media and then chose to post it today, I hope they get like a raise or something. That's to the media manager at McLaren, like thumbs up.
Insane.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So funny.
Yeah.
But how about Toto FaceTiming?
No, don't even get me started. Because George wins.
Like, what is he doing?
George wins and he like doesn't react. So there's like all these theories of like, did he know? Yeah. And then he just FaceTimes, I'm guessing Susie.
Surely.
He's just like, hey, baby girl, what's up? I'm not going to go watch this farce because I know it's not true. Like, devastating. Like,
maybe he's like giggling because he's like, haha, George is going to get pranked because he thinks he's just won. He's like FaceTiming Susie being like, lol, check this guy out.
Oh my God. I did think that was hilarious to immediately go on FaceTime. Immediately.
He was just so checked out. Checked out.
Oh, yeah. It was good though. It was good. It gave more drama to the situation because afterwards everyone was like, oh.
Why was he not excited? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Lewis was still there, so it was still a 1-2.
Yeah.
I don't, regardless of if he knew about George, why was he still not there to celebrate a 1-2? But anyway, one of Mercedes' great mysteries.
Yeah,
an iconic move though, to just ignore it.
He was like, "I'm sick of these wins already. We've got enough of them. We've had 2 this season. One more.
We've just kept winning.
We've been on the podium like the last 3 races. Like, I don't need to see this one.
We are so back.
It's like they all look the same.
God. Yeah.
I've been through 200 podiums with Lewis. I don't need 201.
Yeah, literally.
Oh my gosh, I know. He set yet another record that he just took from himself. Like every time he's either on the podium or wins, he just like unseats himself. As the previous record holder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Max, they're just like knocking themselves out. They're like, I win this. I win this.
You have to be so competitive. And like Lewis, especially for that long, he has been in the game.
Yeah.
To continue and like to continually maintain it. I can't remember who was saying it, but they were like, to stay and like age is just a number, whatever. But like at his age, he's older than the rest of them and is staying in like peak physical form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen the Lewis thirst traps. That man looks good.
Yeah.
But like
we can't escape them. They're everywhere.
Yeah. And he's in incredible shape. I don't even care to think about being in that shape.
Yeah.
And to like maintain that just for like basically a decade or more. Like to just maintain the like, what's it called? You just have to be so regimented with yourself.
Yeah.
So disciplined.
Wild.
I mean, look, the only one older, and he's not that good. He's like, I love Alonso with my whole heart, but bro's fallen off.
Oh.
Physically.
He's completely checked out. He's just doing side quests at this point.
Literally.
As he should. I love it.
I can't believe he signed on with us for a few years. Like, I thought it's time to call it quits. Like, I know realistically,
He's having fun.
gonna call it quits and then probably go, but maybe I'll come back.
Yeah.
Old man, go to bed. Like, take a break. Even when you retired, you didn't take a break. Try again.
I had it on my bingo that I made at the start of the season that Alonso or Magnussen would retire this year.
Yeah.
Neither of them have come yet.
I think Magnussen could
be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you could be onto it with that one.
Yeah. Crazy. But how spicy. That was a very dramatic race.
Silly season, even just this weekend alone, has been spicy as well.
I just can't keep up.
Yeah.
I know with
Audi's new team principal is, and now we know that it's the downfall of Red Bull. They're losing everybody.
Max went to Audi, like just to throw a spanner in the works.
I think it's time Max picks up Toto's calls and goes to Mercedes.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that could be a better option. Red Bull's losing all their key players and Mercedes is somehow picking up their game. I don't think like anywhere's a good choice for him at this point, but like I don't know.
Well, and it's hard though because 2026 is the new regulations.
Yeah.
Like this is only a known quantity. Like the cars and the performance is a known quantity. Well, relative performance, like obviously more money. The teams that are typically good are still going to be typically good because they have the money to test. But like 2026 on, like I'm expecting everything to be turned on its head and not know anything. So like even though silly season is quite frankly making me lose my mind, like I think it's not going to matter as much once everyone is on a slightly more level playing field because they've had to start from scratch relatively from scratch for 2026.
Yeah.
This is the issue. I think they need to extend like the years of regulations for like at least like 2 more years longer because it's happened again. As soon as the new regulations are about to come in, we've got
things get good.
Racing again.
Yeah.
What's next? Are we going to have like fucking Red Bull domination again from 2026 onwards? Like,
well, I mean, they don't have the question, right? It's like Nui.
Yeah.
That we talked about last episode.
Like, they've lost so many people.
And I know that, like, Nui isn't the be-all and end-all at Red Bull. Like, he has a very large team under him that obviously does a lot 100%. Of things and has a lot of talent. But without Nui, is it going to go in the same direction?
Yeah, like I don't think they'll fall off, but I think his presence does catalyze a lot of success.
Yeah, just like I think his ability to like problem solve, I think that will be an issue for the team at Red Bull. But they have lost a lot of their technical team to McLaren.
Yeah.
Even before this season started, before Nui got announced, it got announced that so many people from Red Bull were leaving. Around the time where all the Horner drama was happening, it got announced that a lot of the team were going to McLaren. And I was like,
they know something. That's my whole belief.
Because they're jumping off the ship early.
It was never cleared. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, he was cleared. It's fine. He wasn't. He paid her off. He paid her off.
There was no closure. Yeah. They
just kind of
media cycle.
Yeah. So, you know, I think everybody knows something we don't. Did you actually? I don't remember. I think it was in Monaco. Bloody Crofty or I don't know, somebody, one of the commentators zoomed in on Horner standing there on his phone and he goes, "Oh, Horner's on WhatsApp, get him off that or something." And
yes.
Oh no.
I was like, that is fantastic. I didn't know if anybody else heard it. Nobody was talking about it for so long. And I was like, was I the only person who heard this? Like, what is going on? That was the greatest, like, was so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that now that you say it. And I was literally gasping.
Yeah.
Like, he did not just say that.
I was like, you can't say that, but like, do it again. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, well, before we're done talking about the race, I do want to talk about how the cool down rooms make me want to turn the TV. Like I can't, it's like watching reality TV where like, well, I don't know about y'all, but I have to sometimes get up and take a lap when things are too awkward. Like I have to just get up and move. I just can't tolerate it. And they have been like that, and I don't know who it is.
I
do.
I feel like it slightly has to do with Oscar because he is seeming socially awkward.
Yeah.
But I feel like Max and Charles bring up the life of the cool down room because Max
small talk
always Max-plains and he's like, oh, and he's having a great time. He's always laughing.
Yeah.
And Charles always like questions and talks to people, but I feel like Oscar is very to himself and just watches and then
with Lewis on the podium, like there's just like generational differences.
I mean, he's quite quiet,
especially. Yeah. And then you have quiet Lewis, elder millennial, quiet Oscar, born in 2000 and 2001.
One.
I think 2000.
Oscar Piastri, when's your birthday? What's your sign?
I know you're saying this, so
just
I'll ask Google. But like the age differences, just like I feel like that has 2001. He's 23. Happy birthday! It's not his birthday. His birthday's in April. I don't know. But like just having nothing to relate to each other about, maybe. I don't really know. I don't know how much time they spend with each other. Of like we know like Carlos and Lando hang out. We know like the drivers that live in Monaco hang out and stuff. But like I don't know if outside of a cool down room I've literally ever seen Oscar and Lewis interact.
Did you see that massive photo Alex Albon posted? I don't remember who was in it. It was like Carlos, Lando, Albon, Oscar.
Oh, like their cohort that like all joined at the same time.
Yeah. Was it this one? Yeah.
This one. They're like all buddies. And then it's like the older drivers, like I feel like Nico, Alonso, Lewis.
I feel like even on the drivers' parade bus, Lewis is very to himself. Like he will talk to Valtteri and he'll talk to George and Alonso and stuff, but he does kind of stray away from the younger cohort, i.e. Oscar. Like I know he talks to Charles.
Well, bloody Melbourne drivers' parade. I couldn't even see bloody Charles or Pierre because Lewis is blocking my view. He's literally standing in front of both of them, just gas bagging. So couldn't see any of them because they're all just there talking.
Did you guys see the video of Lewis pinching Valtteri's butt?
Oh, I love that.
So concerned.
I loved it. I was like, okay.
That is so cute.
And the bloody video of Daniel doing it to bloody Martin Brundle or whatever his name is.
Not
Martin Brundle.
And he's just like commentating it as it happens.
Yes.
I love him.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
They're funny.
Yeah. I guess elephant in the room. Carlos to Williams. It's been said.
Every time I read about it, I like lose a year off my life. I just don't get it unless they have like engineer, like unless that's literally, and like we said, like Adrian Newey is not the BLF, but like unless they also got Adrian Newey, I just don't get it.
I can't see why. Like I see why Williams would want Carlos, but I don't see why it would be the other way round.
And a long contract.
Yeah.
Over 2 years. That's insane. And it's wild because where does Carlos think he's going to fit in there? Because they've been very open about Alex Albon being the face of this project. So to me, that's them saying, here's our number one driver, no matter who we sign. And we've seen Carlos can't stand being number two driver. So where is his head thinking he can cope?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because I think it was Lando said in an interview, like, oh, he should have gone to Red Bull. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you joking?
Yeah.
He was never I knew that, and I don't know anything. That he was never going to go to Red Bull because he doesn't want to be number two. Ferrari's number one is Charles. We'll see how that plays out next year with Lewis. Red Bull's number one is obviously Max. Mercedes, I think, is the only one that, like, now that Lewis is gone, their number one is like Kimi Antonelli, who isn't even in the game yet.
Yeah.
So it's like all these teams, like,
I think Mercedes might switch George to number one, to be fair. Because, like, I don't know, they've had such, like, I feel like Mercedes is so checked out of Lewis. I feel like in their eyes anyway, George already is number one.
I don't know.
Which could be an unpopular opinion.
I don't know, because I feel like they just kind of let both of them, like, they let them race, they let them battle it out. That we haven't seen team orders in so long, and we know what Mercedes is like when they do have a number one driver, because Valtteri was
it's Valtteri
number two for so many years. But we have never seen that with George and Lewis.
Yeah,
that's very true. They've been pretty even.
A number one.
Yeah. Maybe they'll keep it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, while we're on a majorly possibly unpopular opinion, but that's one of the 4 seats left, and I so wholeheartedly, and I know not a lot of people agree with me with this, but I know I have at least one friend who agrees with me. I think Daniel Ricciardo is going to Mercedes.
That's not what I've heard. Everything, all the discourse I've ever heard is like, oh, he's going to take Checo's seat.
Yeah, that's everything I've heard too, but I think that's all a game.
I could see Perez going to Mercedes.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, and especially after Spa, where he was meeting with both RB and senior RB's team principals, everyone was like, oh my God, that's it. He signed a contract for Red Bull, but I think he was telling them he signed for Mercedes. That's so, like, unhinged and possibly
that is so left field.
Reaching, but I don't know. I think he could. That there's no in between. Yeah.
I think I'm still firm that he'll go to Red Bull, because they gave him the in back into Formula One.
Yeah.
So
But that's what's hard, is like Christian loves Checo and Christian loves Daniel.
Hold on.
Like they are his
money.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not so sure he loves Checo.
Yeah.
Is that funny?
I'm sure he would love if Checo didn't keep crashing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, though, Horner has to look at it and be like, okay, the money that Checo is bringing in, is it worth the money that he is costing us when he crashes or doesn't get points?
Yeah.
Surely not.
Because obviously, if they don't win the constructors, because McLaren is coming up so close, if they don't win the constructors, that is all on Checo, because Max has been performing. Yeah. So I don't think it's about the Drivers' Championship anymore. I think it's about the constructors, in the eyes of whether he stays or not.
I mean,
I'm looking up the points difference right now really quick.
Yeah. I think being completely realistic, I think Daniel is going to Red Bull after the summer break. And I know that, like, Christian Horner's done a massive interview saying he hasn't. We've seen this before. What happened to Pierre Gasly?
Yeah.
It happened before. They say, oh no, nothing's changing, and then literally coming out of summer break, it does. So I don't know.
It is the Mexico Grand Prix. When is it? October. Interesting. Because I saw something. I'm fully in belief that they will take Perez out of Red Bull mid-season and put Daniel in. But I also saw something that apparently, like, Liberty Media, who is kind of like the marketing side of F1, they reached out to Red Bull and said ticket sales are through the floor for Mexico, and we have, like, completely undersold the entire weekend. Checo needs to
be there,
race for Red Bull. Like, that's what I've heard, is that he can't leave before Mexico because ticket sales are so low. And I was like, interesting.
I mean, maybe an unhinged marketing strategy for me here, but, like, what if they did get rid of Checo? Because I feel like that's when the Mexicans would come out and go, prove them wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They swapped him mid-season to the RB. I feel like all the Mexicans are buying tickets just to support him, just so, like, he knows. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know, that's pretty left of field, but I think that's the way. I don't see how leaving him in Red Bull is going to get the Mexicans to come support him.
Yeah.
But then,
unless let's have a team.
But humor me on this. Let's say Daniel goes over the summer break to the second Red Bull seat. Then are they putting Checo at Carb?
Probably. They usually swap them. Unless they just decide to go left field and get rid of Checo and bring in Liam.
That's what I'm saying.
Please
Especially
bring in
open
Liam.
seat.
I am waiting.
Well,
Liam Lawson
they, this isn't an official like source or anything, but one of my friends emailed Liam Lawson's management to ask for F1 driver cards, and management's response was genuinely, we don't have enough, we've run out, I never order enough for like previous or current. You'll have to wait until next year when he gets a full-time seat.
Oh.
He could
we should just be
have
emailing
worded that
more.
wrong. He could be going back to like Super Formula or something.
Yeah.
But typically when you're asking about F1 driver cards, is that you telling me he is going to Carb next season? I'm taking it as an announcement personally.
I hope so. I love him.
Really...
He is obsessed with cars, like the movie Cars, the Disney movie.
Yeah.
And so am I. I spiritually relate to him.
Yeah.
Well, he's just like, he's so, like, I don't know, relatable. Like, a lot of them are relatable. Yeah. But there's something about Liam Lawson being so perfectly open about that.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know if I would go around advertising my adoration for the movie Cars. Don't hate me. I've never actually seen it.
Sophia.
I know. Is that my homework?
Yeah.
I think that has to be your homework. But if you want,
at the last just number one.
I will also watch it just because I haven't watched it in a while. So I will also
FaceTime watch party.
Yeah.
I think that we should do a watch party. A FaceTime watch party, because that is actually, that's disturbing.
That's wild to me.
I'm older than you guys. It came out when I was aging out of animated films.
Okay. It came out when I was like 7, so. Okay.
I don't even know when it came out. I think I was born.
2005? 7? One of the two.
Oh, I don't know. I was born 03, so whatever that is.
You guys make me feel old. 2006. Yeah, I was
5. Yeah, that adds
9. Oh, I was definitely still in the animated
movie. I was 9.
Yeah, I was too old.
Yeah, you're old.
Too old. I went to the movies last weekend to watch Despicable Me 4.
Is it good? Should I go?
25. Okay. Anyway.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. My the baby has taken over our agenda. She's doing whatever she wants. So, you know.
What is she telling us to?
But yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was you typing that. I was like, what does this mean?
Yes.
Well, we're on silly season and, you know, only 4 seats left. There is only 4 seats left because Ocon got confirmed to Haas.
Oh, yeah, he did. Pray for Ollie.
I don't like it. I'm going to say it. I don't like it.
Only issue here.
I don't like it
Ollie
either.
Behrman's going to suffer. They don't have the money for Ocon to crash into his teammate all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
And we know that he doesn't follow team orders.
Yep. He can't be number 2 driver. He can't be number 2. He needs to go home.
I just hope that Ollie is a good enough driver to like be firm enough on the track.
Yeah.
And doesn't just like concede. I hope he's got a little bit of Piastri in him.
I think he does. I think on track he does. I mean, did you see him in the F2 sprint? He literally took somebody out. He was that like firm into turn 1 in Spa. He was like, no, this is mine. And they both ended up in the barriers. So and that was like on the opening lap. Like, yeah. That was pretty funny. But I think on track, he's got that, you know, like stern, what's the word? Like confidence. Off track, you see he's a little bit shy and how you're doing. But I think on track, I hope he doesn't prove me wrong, but I have faith in him. I think he can show Ocon up. I really, really do.
Hopefully.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah. So what are the other seats? We've got one free at Alpine. 1 free at V Club, Merc,
and
Steak. Stake? Steak. I don't know how to say it.
Steak.
The green team.
Yeah, it is, right?
Sauber.
Yeah,
Audi,
no,
whatever.
Hulkenberg's there. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty obvious we've got Liam Lawson in the V Club. They've been talking about that if he doesn't get a full-time seat like this year coming, like 2024, he was going to get one for next year. So I think that's pretty confident he's going to go there. I don't think he's going to go straight to the Red Bull. Like, they could do it, but I think how they did it with Alex, I think that was just silly.
Yeah.
They should have switched. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that maybe if they don't swap Perez, he might not have a seat for the remainder of this year, but maybe Kick will take him.
Yeah, possibly, actually.
Yeah. That would be really good for them because that's two really seasoned drivers to give really good feedback.
Yeah. Plus, there's money that Checo brings in would be super valuable to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he'd have to wear like lime green and black, and I don't think that those colors suit him, so he shouldn't go there.
Looking like Shago from Kim Possible.
Yeah.
Alpine,
which is rumored for Jack Doohan, which I've heard.
Yeah.
Even Vic Doohan was like, Jack's F1 seat will be announced soon, and I was like, calm down, bloke. Like, he's never getting an F1 seat. Like, he's not that good. But all signs are pointing to yes. And I don't say that in a horrible way. I love Jack Doohan with my whole heart. I'll whip out the photos of me and Jack Doohan in the group chat later. They don't belong on a public face like this because they are awful. But I love that man with my whole heart, you know? So I don't say that.
He made the Alpine like summer break announcement video that they posted.
And the video of him taking coffees and teas to all the Alpine staff. And do you know
so cute
that the year before his seat was announced? Lando Norris.
So we haven't seen much of Jack in the Alpine media for a long time. But now all of a sudden when they have a free seat, it's silly season. We're starting to see all of the Jack content. And I'm like, what are you hinting at?
Literally.
It feels like they're shouting it at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure this guy is going to be there.
Either that or they're really fucking playing us.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else will go there.
I don't think Daniel will go there. I think if Daniel doesn't get Red Bull, he won't stay.
What if they put in like Théo Pourchaire and they kept the all French lineup?
Perhaps.
I doubt it, but he just got kicked out of McLaren. So
that's true.
I don't know. It could. Otherwise, like Victor Martins, but I don't think so either. But maybe.
I'm excited for there to be new faces.
Can they just bring in like Abby Pulling from F1 Academy?
Oh my god,
pretty good in everything she's racing in.
She's doing great.
Put an F1 car. Put her in for an Alpine testing. Just see how
she is.
At least put her in.
I'll buy Alpine merch. You put Abby Pulling, I'll finally buy Alpine merch.
Literally.
I'll do it.
That's the only reason why I love Pierre. You guys know that. I love him, but I can't bring myself to buy Alpine merch because it's Alpine merch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, fine. But regardless.
I mean, merch-wise, Abby Pulling did just release a line that looks really cool. And I'm like, oh,
do it.
Just bought like a Ferrari hoodie. Like,
oh yeah. Ferrari
chance, Abby.
Actually, I just bought a Fernando Alonso jumper. It was on sale for $110 or something. That thing was like $180.
Yeah, I got Quadrant merch. Oh my god. Nice. It was like $180, but it was so worth it. I woke up at 4 a.m. to get it.
I want Enchante merch, but I'm like, am I gonna do this for $300? Daniel Ricciardo, lower your prices.
Yeah.
I love Albon merch.
I don't know. The pet one I don't know about, but the rest are pretty like I wanted
the pet one for me.
Oscar Piastri. I'm sorry.
Oscar, please.
Terrible.
Please. Get a better designer.
I want to buy it.
Yeah, let me design your merch.
Know.
I think it was so funny as well. They whipped out the Oscar OP1 hats.
Yeah.
Hungry. I was like, you knew it was coming. They had those made. That was so funny. It was like the Max Drivers Championship last year. They just walked out with shirts and we're like, okay, we all do, but calm down. You didn't need to whip them out that quickly.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That was insane.
Okay, so lineup predictions. So my prediction of who's going where and who's taking what seat. VCARB will be Lawson. Merc will be Kimi. Alpine, I'm going to leave that for a second. Kick, I reckon, will be Perez, and then Danny will take Red Bull. Alpine, I'm pretty set on doing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm kind of similar. But only thing is I'm just going to go on Hinge and I'm going to say Denny to Mercedes, just to stick with it. Why not? I think Perez is going to stay in Red Bull because I think they're just valuing his money too much. That money pays Max's paycheck. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Also, the up, do it to Alpine because, yeah. I just don't know about Sauber. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of hoping Valtteri stays because I don't want to see Valtteri go yet.
Yeah.
But
me either.
I think it is. He's holding. I don't know. I don't know who else to go there. I mean, I think if Isaac Hadjar wins the F2 championship, we very well could see Perez go to Sauber, Lawson to Red Bull, and Hadjar to RB because they've been speaking quite highly of how Hadjar's been driving the Red Bull. And I mean, he's driven the Red Bull, he's driven the V carb. No, he just needs a seat. And he's quite good. I'll give him that. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll go with that. We'll go Perez to Sauber, Denny to Merc, Lawson to Red Bull, and Hadjar to V carb. I think that was all of them. Oh, and Doohan to Alpine.
So Hadjar to V carb, not Lawson?
Hadjar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Soph, thoughts?
Yeah. So many and yet none at all at the same time. I think off the bat, I'm just going to agree and say Alpine is probably going to be Jack. I think I want to see Liam. I mean, is he going to do something wild, kind of like Oscar did, and like go to a different team that's not in the Red Bull family?
He could go to Mercedes, to be fair, actually. Or he could go to Sauber. People have been saying Sauber. Oh my God.
Because the thing is, with Kimi Antonelli, I feel like they would. They did with George. Sorry, I'm having a lot of thoughts right now. They did with George is Williams to Mercedes pipeline, right? I think they would have to do something like that with Kimi because you can put him in a Mercedes, but that boy has never been in an F1 car and it just is going to drive different. So it makes Carlos at Williams make more sense because if they need to swap around like that, it's easy because they're sister teams. Oh my God, did we just figure it out?
I've been saying for a while that Carlos was going to Merc and that Kimi would go to Williams, and then in 2026 Carlos would go to Audi, Kimi would go into Merc. But since Williams announced him, I'm like, whoa.
Because they still have to fill. Are they just gonna? I mean, I would not think that Kimi straight into Mercedes
is a good idea.
Because then I mean, and I want the best for the kid. I think that they're all stars, the ones that are coming in. Like, I'm so excited to have a fresh energy, new drivers. But I don't know if putting a fresh F2 driver into like one of the top teams on the grid off the bat is tactical for their development as a driver.
I think they could do it. They give him another year or so in F2.
Yeah. Like make him an
Yeah, because the only F1 car he has proved himself in is a Mercedes. So like they know he's capable of driving the Mercedes. The Williams is a question though. Do you know what I mean? So it makes sense for him to go straight to Mercedes if they put another driver in that seat for a year or two.
Unless they just straight up do what happened with Oscar. He was a reserve driver for a year, then went straight to a top team like F1 car. So maybe he'll be Mercedes reserve driver, and maybe Perez will go to Merc.
Yeah.
For a year.
I'm gonna say something crazy because I just remembered that I saw him. Mick Schumacher.
I just remembered Mick.
Yeah, me too.
I know.
Oh.
Poor sweet Mick. Why did we forget about him?
Going, there's nobody who could go to Mercedes. Like, there's nobody. Literally could.
Imagine that. Oh my God. I would like to see Mick back on the grid.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put that in my prediction.
Yeah, because I think if anybody else's team principal other than Toto, they'd be like, no way, we're risking that shit again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Mick had a really shit run in a shit car. He's got
agreed. And he's a good team.
Before. Exactly.
Him and Logan got the short end of the stick with their teams.
Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. End of the day, everyone's going to hate me for saying this. Logan Sargent was performing way better than Alex Albon by the end of this. Like, Alex isn't consistent. I think Alex has crashed more than Logan has this year. And I'm not saying Albon's a bad driver, but in the construction championships, Alex is winning. Perez and Alex are up there. Logan's like fourth.
He hasn't had a lot of crashes this year, but he did last year. But again, rookie season, so
absolutely,
it's a discount.
Yeah, pretend like, yeah. I don't know.
This is hard. I don't know who I'm gonna put where. I think I'm gonna say Mick. I think I'm gonna say Mick to Sauber.
Audi German.
Yeah, because I think it's not high stakes for him to be back as a primary driver.
Yeah.
And I just don't think any of the other teams would go for him. Like, the Red Bull family is so close. Like, I think they really are just going to swap in and around themselves. I think as much as I would like to see Liam in the V-Carb, reunite Liam and Yuki, imagine that. But I think that that's too close of a loop unless they like completely screw over Checo and say, we're not offering you, like if they switch Danny into the Red Bull and don't offer Checo the V-Carb, then I think it could be Liam. Otherwise, I figure they would just do like a my favorite term of the day, like closed ecosystem, like just swap them.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that would make the most
those close-knit little family groups there. What if Mercedes just throws us a curveball, and even though they've just, for Williams, re-signed Albon, what if they swap him to Mercedes and then put Kimi into the Williams? And that's why Carlos go, because he knew he'd be number one driver.
I reckon that could definitely be a possibility.
Be his face.
I wish I could press like fast forward and just find out. I wouldn't tell anyone. You can tell me F1, you can tell me everything. I wouldn't tell anyone, I promise.
Just Alex loves Williams. That's the only thing where I'm like, because it fits his vibe as well. Like his merch line, like he is the face of Williams. So
makes me think
I don't know whether he would risk that. It just depends how, I guess, driven he is about forwarding his career, like whether he's happy to stay in a team that is centered around him or whether he wants to excel his career in a top team. I guess it just depends what his motives are.
I don't want to see him in Mercedes. And that sounds so bad, but I physically, mentally, emotionally, I cannot handle another Mercedes. I can't do it.
Even Albon, George and Albon they're good.
That's what we thought about Nico and Lewis, wasn't it? Like, we thought they were good. Wrong. I don't know. I just can't do it again. So that's the only thing that makes me not want to see Alex at Mercedes. I don't know. I have no idea.
Me neither. These last two seats to fill, I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm confident enough to make any sort of. There's too many variables involved.
I mean, Mercedes has the chance to do the funniest thing ever and sign Logan Sargent. Like, I know they won't, but like, would that not be hilarious?
I'd go out and buy Mercedes merch that day.
Me too. Me too.
Can you imagine the Mercedes logo, but in like an American flag? In an election year? Sorry.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
while we're on that like topic of Logan Sargent, IndyCar promo.
I'm gonna become a groupie and follow him around if he joins IndyCar.
Right?
That's me with Oscar. I'm like, I'll go where you go, baby.
Yeah. The only issue is for us, I don't think there's a way to watch IndyCar in Australia. At least I've not found it yet because it's not on KO.
Let me ask my uncle because they follow IndyCar more than F1 and they watch it, but I think it's on Fox.
Oh.
But let me ask. I'm getting dinner with him tonight, so let me ask.
Yeah.
Oh, family dinner.
Yeah. No, because
I think I'm gonna go to an IndyCar race soon though, because I mean I'd like to, because like there's Marcus Ericsson, there's Romain Grosjean, there's like a bunch of drivers that used to be in F1 that are now also Pato Award, who I'd love.
I love him.
He's just IndyCar though.
He's gonna be the one driver that makes me get into IndyCar, I think. I love him.
As much
so
as
funny.
Formula E IndyCar podcast. Can we just talk about that crash he had? Spun sideways, he was back into the wall, and the sound of the cars hitting him. Did you see his onboard?
Several cars, plural. It was crazy.
Yeah.
That was the weekend Zach Brown was there.
And why? Like, I don't follow IndyCar at this stage, but I have seen many videos. Why was a yellow flag not raised? Why were the entire track going at full speed?
Right.
Why did they not wave the yellow until 2 cars had hit him?
Yeah. And the way Marcus Ericsson got away with that so easy, I'm sure it was Marcus Ericsson that hit him first. That could have been so bad because he like T-boned him. That could have been so bad.
It was gnarly. Yeah.
That was insane. Because IndyCar's also, because Scott McLaughlin hit the bloody doll.
No, it was crazy. One of the cars ended up like upside down.
Yeah. Yeah. That was insane.
So unsafe.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Jinx again.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
That was wild. Maybe we should like live react to like an IndyCar race or something, because I've never seen like a calm IndyCar race. From what I've seen, I don't really watch much.
They're wild. I watched the Indy 500. The last lap saw a battle for first. Broke my heart. I was rooting for Pato. As Hispanic, I was like, we got this. And then he had it. And then he lost.
For him.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
No. Pato Award is a gateway drug to IndyCar. You heard it here first.
Pato is going to be my Charles in IndyCar.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, if Logie Bear goes to IndyCar, he may just do it for me too. Like Pato's like got me going, oh, I really want to watch it, but I don't know how. If Logie goes, I might go, I will find a way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just love Logie as a person. Like, the fact that everybody hates him makes me feel like I need to love him.
No. Did you guys see his interview, his podcast that he did the weekend of the British Grand Prix? And he asks them, do you know what this weekend is? And they're like, it's the British Grand Prix. He goes, it's the 4th of July. It was so funny. And then like, because he was with 2 British other co-hosts, and they start cracking up, and he's like looks the camera like The Office.
Love it. He's so funny.
Sweet baby Logan.
Oh,
he's hilarious.
Maybe it was Instagram actually. Instagram or TikTok. Williams posted a video of Logan like ordering his favorite like McDonald's items, and he was like the McPlant P9 because I'm never gonna get it.
Oh,
and Alex
is so funny.
Like, it was so funny. I love humor where you can like bully yourself like that. Like, so funny. Yeah.
Where you're like self-aware.
Yeah, literally. He's like, I know, I get it. It's fine. Like, he's clearly accepted that like F1's not for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so bad.
I mean, but like, what an opportunity, because there's 20 in the world.
Exactly.
And he got to be there for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, but he's such a shit driver. But he's not in comparison to the world.
He's there.
He got chosen.
He outlasted Nick DeVries.
Exactly.
So different car. I will say different car, different team, because Red Bull is ruthless. But 2 seasons in F1 to have that under your belt and then to go on and do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
But wasn't
regardless
it
of how he performed in F1, he's set up.
Yeah.
He was the one who was getting called out by like the F1 movie Instagram with like catching strays off of like people ended up roasting Nick DeVries over like some announcement on the accounts they made for the team in the F1 movie.
Oh.
It was like, poor Nick DeVries, he's not even in the movie, is he?
I don't even
so.
know. They started in Silverstone, didn't they? And that's when Daniel started?
Mm.
Oh no, Daniel had started. No. Daniel started Zandvoort, didn't he?
Yeah.
Messed up his thumb. But Silverstone's not that late in the year.
No, Silverstone is before the break.
I swear Daniel raced that though.
No, I don't think he raced in Silverstone. I think he raced in...
Like my brain's like, he was there.
Hang on.
Oh, my brain's like... To be fair, I was sitting there with a friend yesterday.
Hungry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, you guys, they have a whole Instagram as if the team's real.
Oh, yeah.
They are posting free practice results.
Yeah. Insane, hey?
Oh, have we lost Brit?
Oh,
I closed my browser after I searched that thing about Danny and then it took me out of the meeting.
Oh.
I was like, oh.
Fair enough. You know, I feel like the whole Nick DeVries saga is a blur. I was opening those like F1 tops cards, like the trading cards.
Mm-hmm.
My friends. And I was like, I haven't, the 2023 ones. And I was like, I haven't seen a single Daniel Ricciardo card. Oh,
God,
Sophia,
show me. It's Nick DeVries on the Instagram for the team from the F1 movie. It says a great race at the hashtag Singapore GP. I guess he gets replaced by Brad Pitt.
Don't tell me that they've seen his story of him and Daniel and they're like, you know what?
They said,
that
play
would
it
be
back.
great in our movie. Come here and we're gonna replace you with Brad Pitt.
Oh.
But like the Brad Pitt, like that Brad Pitt movie, I swear to God, that is literally Brosades. Like,
isn't he getting
created this? And I swear to God, he's just reenacting Brosades for us.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. The day that movie comes out, midnight, front row, I'm there.
Yeah, literally.
It's like, silly and hilarious. Gunther Steiner's in it. You think I'm gonna miss it?
Oh,
right.
I'm not gonna miss it for that.
I'm there. No,
all right. Well, I feel like that was very dramatic.
Yeah.
A lot to cover.
There's a lot to happen.
So much
that we went through.
It feels like it's been a month since Spa. Not.
It does.
4 days.
It does.
Yeah.
5, 4, Thursday.
Oh, yeah. It's Thursday for you. It's Friday for us.
Oh, sorry. Time zones. Still 4 or 5 days. Like,
that's insane regardless.
Yeah.
Feels like it was 10 years ago. All right. Well, okay. Now summer break. So we have some really fun podcast episodes under our belt to film and record. This is going to be so weird not ending this episode with a podium prediction.
But we have our silly season prediction.
Yeah, we have that prediction.
So,
I guess we'll see in due course how that plays out. I don't know how this is going to go, guys.
I need like a helmet and my seatbelt. Like, I'm not ready.
Yeah, strap in.
Yeah,
seriously.
If anybody watching has any episodes they'd like to see us do, make sure to like comment them or send us a message on Instagram or something because we're open to ideas. We have some deep dive ideas coming. If you haven't heard of Crashgate or Spygate, don't Google it. Wait for our episode. We're going to blow Sophia's mind.
Don't Google it. Wait for me to ask the questions that you're going to inevitably have.
Because this is insane. I think we should hopefully have a few special guests line up if everything goes right. But yeah, look forward to the silly season videos. I'm actually silly season. Yeah. You see what's in my brain? Look forward to the summer break videos rather, but
Forget summer break. I need the next race already.
Yeah. I mean, typically in a normal year, summer break is silly season. So
every day has been silly season at this point.
It's
February
2024 is the entire silly season.
Yeah. I'll never forget. February 2nd is the day that Lewis Hamilton got announced at Ferrari.
Yep.
It's burnt in my brain. I was trying to get ready for work. I was
same. I woke up and I was like, nah. I remember I went to sleep seeing the rumors and I was like, whatever. I was like, this is just Monaco last year all over again. Like, and then I woke up and I was like, it is 6 a.m.
Yeah.
This was posted 4 minutes ago. What?
Yeah. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation, that is.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right.
Well, we will see you very shortly for yet another episode of Gears and Glory.
Bye.